Okay, so good morning everybody, and once again welcome back in today's class. Today we are on the day number 38. Yes, 38, yes. So now we are going to discuss a topic which something we already know. Okay. But this topic is like an addition in the previous topic, and we call this topic as a workflow. Okay. Workflow, why we're discussing workflow? Because I thought we discuss about the flow. That's a good way, but little bit introduction or little bit knowledge about the flow also required. We are not going to do any practical for the flow, but we will see that how the, sorry, we are not going to do any practical for the workflow, but we will see that how the workflow can be built up. Okay. So if you come here and search for the workflow, check and go to workflow editor here. दोनों में डिफरेंस नहीं है, फ्लो और वर्कफ्लो में डिफरेंस नहीं है. द ओनली थिंग इज दैट इंटरफेस इज लिटिल डिफरेंट, प्लस फ्लो हैज लिटिल एडवांस थिंग. Workflow don't have that advanced thing. In the flow, we just use a natural language, but in the workflow we have to do the coding as well. Take a little bit coding with little bit things we have to do. So to do this part, we can create a new workflow. मतलब ये जस्ट ओवरव्यू है ताकि आपको ये ना लगे कि वी डोंट नो एनीथिंग अबाउट द फ्लो, सॉरी वर्कफ्लो. Now in the flow we have a trigger point, if you remember, but hey, and when you say trigger point, it takes the table automatically, but in the workflow it is not like that. It is not like that. In the workflow we have to be give the table name manually. देखो अभी भी there are many customers who are still on the workflow, and that is the reason we are doing little recap kind of things on this topic. कि चलो ठीक है, we understand this part. It should not be tomorrow if in the interview somewhere it asks that you do know for workflow and you say no. So we will give a name here. I want to create my workflow on the table of catalog item. SC underscore cat underscore item. Cat underscore item. ठीक है, table name. But in the flow we have a trigger point, catalog item. So nothing to be worried on that particular part. But here we have to be remember this table name. This is what the benefit of having the this thing flow. अरे कहाँ गई हमारी टेबल ये रहा. ठीक है, LNG workflow. ठीक. What we are doing, we are just defining it. We are just creating a definition for this one. It says when it should run. If the condition matches, run the workflow always. Run if no other workflow is matched, or run if no other workflow match. None match or yet match. It means in the workflow we can give a condition. Let's say I want to give a condition. If the short description is this, only then it should run. If the change model is this, only then it should run. So we can say always none, that I want that it should run always, or we can say this thing, run the workflow always. By any chance, by any case, it should run automatically. ठीक है, and then we can submit it. When we submit this, see, in the flow, sorry, in the workflow, it's all about drag and drop. But in the flow, we have to be set the actions, सब flow kind of things. यहाँ पर actions वगैरह कुछ नहीं है. यहाँ पर जो भी है we have activities, core activities. Like we say in the, I'm comparing as well so that you can easily relate this part. In the flow, we have a subflow called manager approval. But यहाँ पर ऐसा नहीं है. If you want manager approval, then you have to be use these core activities. ServiceNow provide these 8 or 9 types of core activities. Okay, and up to you what you want to do. So now, even though we have a subflow, देखो यहाँ पर भी subflow है, but the problem is that this subflow does not contain the natural language which we already know, that manager approval, head of department approval. यहाँ पर वो नहीं है. You have to be put it your own way. So I want approval now. Let's say approval user, like this, drag and drop. It will ask me that, okay, approval, what approval you want? Because what we say, we need a approval from the user. I need approval from the one user. Check. I said, let's say manager approval. Manager approval. Stage. Remember that we can set the stages in the flow. In the same manner, we can set the stage here as well. कोई है क्या default stage नहीं है यहाँ पर. ठीक है, we can leave it. And here, if you want, you can put a condition. If the cost is more than 1,000, then I want manager approval. Up to you. But how to get the manager approval? Now that is a problem. Because earlier we saw an easy way. Earlier we saw that how I can write in English, get a manager approval, but here I have to be write a code, a little bit understanding what to do. So what I need an approval from the logged in user. So what I can do, I can go here and I will put $, or requested for. Hard code करना पड़ेगा हमें. So we have to be hard code this part. But you say, no, Atul, we need a runtime approval. Right? We need a runtime approval, like Amisha report to Sunita, Sunita report to Amisha, Amisha report to Rituja. Now Amisha is raising a request, so it should go to her manager, right? So to do this part, it means this is a wrong activity we're picking up. We need an activity which can take the runtime users. यहाँ तो hard code हो गया. यहाँ तो hard code करना पड़ेगा because it's asking for the user, right? That we can't do. So it means let's close this. And we have to see here that what is the exact core activity can work here. Approval action, rollback, approval group, which will work. Or we have a condition here. Or we have a notification here. Or we have a service catalog here. What we have to be see. Let's say, do we have approval action? Drag and drop. Let's see, because in this little bit difference is there definitely. In the flow, you will say, Atul, flow was very good. We know everything in the flow now. Workflow is just for the kind of activities we are doing here. ये तो वो approval auto approve करने के लिए. I'm looking for a approval for the group approval. Why not able to see that? Is this I'm looking correct? Maybe I'm doing this thing on the wrong table because catalog item level पे नहीं होता. That is SC_REQ_ item level पे होता है approvals. That is why I'm not able to see these options. So now let's say, okay, if I say, okay, I want to create a task. Catalog task है. See the utilities. Workflow is little slow as well. Join no not there, timer is not there, notification है, टास्क भी नहीं दिख रहा है. पर टास्क भी नहीं दिख रहा है मुझे, ऐसा कैसे हो गया? There must be something called create task. Look, let's do one thing. Let's get a new workflow on the SC_REQ table. ठीक है. SC_REQ_ रिक्वेस्ट आइटम टेबल पे. ठीक है, बाकी इसको ऐसे ही रखते हैं एंड सबमिट. एंड नाउ यू कैन सी अप्रूवल ग्रुप, अप्रूवल यूजर, अप्रूवल एक्शन, अप्रूवल कोऑर्डिनेटर, मैनुअल अप्रूवल, रोल बैक. आई नीड अ ग्रुप अप्रूवल, आई नीड अप्रूवल यूजर, अप्रूवल कोऑर्डिनेटर. बेसिकली डिपेंड ऑन योर ट्रिगरिंग पॉइंट, दीज थिंग्स गेट चेंज. देखिए यहाँ पर टास्क है क्या? देखो टास्क भी आ गया. लेट्स से आई वांट टू गेट अ कैटलॉग टास्क. ये लुक इजी कि यहाँ पे ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप है, बट प्रैक्टिकली इट्स नॉट दैट मच इजी. ठीक है. सो नाउ आई कैन से आई वांट टू क्रिएट अ टास्क. ठीक है, ये टास्क, डू आई हैव एनी स्टेज हियर? यस, आई से put the stage as a delivery, and here you can put your priority is high. Do you want to take anything from the field value? I said yes. Fulfillment group should be batch 15. Assign to nahi, short description, LNG task 1. Do you want to schedule it? Maybe after 5 days, after 2 days, after 3 days, it should generate it. Then you can do this particular part here as well. And if you want, you can write the script as well. Because we can do the scripting in flow as well, we can do the scripting here as well, we can do the scripting. And if you want to show the variables, you can bring here like this, and save. Now if you see that this is a standalone item, and in the workflow we have a validate. Click on this. What it's saying, info and warning. Read this warning and tell me what is wrong here. Read this warning and this warning and tell me what is wrong here. Yes. क्या कहते हो तुझा?
सर उसका कोई इनपुट ही नहीं है एक्चुअली.
So what to do?
We need to give some direction actually from our main.
Yes. So come here and delete. ठीक है, इसको ले जाओ यहाँ पर. It say input दो here and give output like this. जबकि in the flow it work automatically. Everything get created automatically. In this knowledge now, what we see that if you get the XML code for this flow, you can make a change in the XML code and it will generate the picture automatically for you. And now if you see here, no warning. This is what the flow do. Let's say I want to put a use case more approval, group approval. Something similar, the manager approval and all the things will be there. Let it be load completely. ठीक है, LNG G approval. ठीक, stage वेटिंग अप्रूवल। अब देखो यहां पर ना एक चीज है जो मुझे डिस्कस, विच आई वांट टू डिस्कस एक्चुअली विद यू। लेट्स से आई वांट अप्रूवल फ्रॉम द 5 ग्रुप्स, बैच 15, incident, change. And now we have to think little practically. Let's say Amisha says it is family, I want to buy a car, MG. ठीक है? In his family, total 6 members are there. Husband, mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law and brother-in-law. चलो 4 ठीक है. ठीक है? Now it is a very big investment. She need to be take approval from everybody. Let's say she put this proposal to her husband. Husband says, okay, we will go for the MG. Next, Amisha put this proposal to father-in-law. She says no. He says no. We will not go for the MG. She put the proposal to mother-in-law. She said yes. Sister-in-law, no. Brother-in-law, no. Now, what is the final decision? Yes or no? दो लोगों ने yes कहा है, 4 लोगों ने no कहा है, या 2 लोगों ने yes कहा है और 2 लोगों ने no कहा है. Now, what should be the final decision? ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता. We need a human intervention. Same thing is applicable here as well. If I'm taking approval from multiple groups, then how the system will know that if one group approve, I have to be marked as approved. So we have to be define it here. ये यहां पर है जो मुझे बताना था. ये रहा. Wait for an approval from each group. एटलीस्ट सभी ग्रुप में से एक बार अप्रूवल आने दो, मतलब डिसीजन आने दो मेनली. नंबर 1, एन अप्रूवल फ्रॉम एनी ग्रुप. On the dining table, everybody was sitting. My husband, father-in-law, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law. I say, hey, I want to buy a new car, MG. Father-in-law say yes. Close. Deal done. Decision made. Any group. And approval from everyone in all the groups. Means I need a decision from everybody in each group. Father-in-law ने बोला that okay, let me check with my friends group how this car look like, cost, budgeting, insurance, all the things. And he has a small group of 4 people. Same goes for the mother-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law. तो हर एक से मैं अप्रूवल लेना पड़ेगा आपको. और फर्स्ट रिस्पॉन्स फ्रॉम ईच ग्रुप. हर ग्रुप में से जिसने पहला हाँ बोल दे ना बोल दे, विल टेक दैट डिसीजन. देखो अभी ये नहीं, मैं आई डिड नॉट से कि हाँ बोले ना बोले डिसीजन हो जाएगा, नहीं. Because it is a machine. It is a machine, remember. Or machine don't have a brain. उसको नहीं पता that you are buying a 20 lakh car or 2 rupees car. Machine don't know, right? So, and the last condition based on or the first response from any group. 5 लोग बैठे, किसी ने भी पहले बोल दिया, that will be taken. And condition based on script. ठीक है? तो ये. Now this is what we need to be discussed. अब प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि इसके बाद होगा क्या? Generally, what the thumb rule says, if anyone reject the request, it is considered as a rejected. Very clearly. ठीक है. If because we are using the request management, it is the automation and automation में human intervention नहीं होना चाहिए. Otherwise automation क्या हुआ उसमें. So this is a thumb rule which we use or which we follow. If anybody rejecting the request, then it has been considered as rejected. So according to your use case, you can put the things here and click on the submit. और इसमें भी सेम केस है. इसको हम करते हैं यहां से डिलीट और करते हैं इनपुट. अगर अप्रूव हो गया, सॉरी, तो यहां जाओ. रिजेक्ट हो गया तो यहां जाओ. बस. एंड देन we activate this, sorry, we validate this, no warning, and we have to publish it. That is important. वहां पर ऑटोमेटिक सेव हो रहा था, यहां पर हमें पब्लिश करना पड़ेगा. पब्लिश इट. My workflow is ready. This is what we will discuss small thing about the workflows. Question, doubt, clarification.
Which is more efficient, workflow or this flow?
Flow is more efficient because flow is like, I can say, advanced, number one. Is more on the natural language. No need to be remember the tables and all the things will be there. You just remember that what need to be do like English words easily and can be doable. Plus in the flow we have a error handler, we have a use of this thing APIs and spokes as well. Very easily we can use it. But in the workflow it's not that much easy to be used.
Okay.
ठीक है जी.
Yes sir.
Anybody other question?
वर्कफ्लो भी यूज करते हैं या नहीं?
Yes, we use.
Okay.
Yes. We use this, no doubt. ठीक है. All good बाकी? ठीक.
Yes.
Now let's do the next part, next topic. ठीक है. A small introduction we have to just see so that it should not be look like that I don't know anything about the workflows. ठीक. Now come to the next part. क्या था? Dictionary. देखो, being a human, and I always say that we inherit a lot of properties from our parents, attributes, right? Sanskar. But sometimes few things we want to be override. नहीं, ये नहीं चाहिए मुझे, ये मतलब I can't follow this which my parents are following. ठीक है. Let's say example. I am on the incident table. ठीक है. I am on the incident form. Let's say. ठीक. अब incident form or incident table extended from the task table. ठीक है. Definitely, if it is coming from the task table, then if anything or any attribute which is coming from the task table has its own property, mandatory, references, default value kind of things. Let's say in the task table, short description is mandatory. I created an incident table from the task table, so it is also becoming mandatory for me. But I don't want it mandatory in my table. Parents says, I work in IT industry, you also work in the IT industry. नहीं, बट मेरा कोई मन नहीं आईटी में काम करने का. आई वांट टू बी गो फॉर सम other jobs or maybe business kind of things. This is called override. मुझे विरासत में मिला, but I don't want to go for the same. ठीक है? So this concept is called the dictionary override. In the dictionary override, we change the little bit behavior of a field which we got from the parent table. सब कुछ change नहीं कर सकते. Few things we can change, but not everything. ठीक है? This is one of the toughest topic I can say from my side. Okay, I am always get confused. So what we have to do, let's say I'm going here, and also we not much recommended to use a dictionary override always. ऐसा नहीं है कि option है तो भाई use करते जाओ. Yesterday I was watching a reel. Generally, I don't believe in this because it's all marketing strategy and something, but sometimes it's good as well. So someone was telling about this Glucon-D, that glucose का जो box आता है. He says yes, it is a good drink, no doubt. We should have this. But when we say we should means who is the actual user for that particular drink? If you are a sportsman kind of things, or you're going for running or jogging kind of things, or you're playing, then this is a good drink for you. But if you're sitting in a room always with the AC on, and you're just saying, okay, I'm feeling tired, let me have a Glucon-D, 1 glass. Then after 2 hours, again one take, one more. Then it is not going to work for you. Then it is a pure sugar you are having it. Okay. So same thing we have to be see that how to override this value. So I can go here and I can search for the dictionary. Okay. And click here. Okay. Dictionary entries, right? Wait. Do we have the attribute name or call? Attributes. Okay, here. Let's say I go for the incident. अपना वही best है करने का. ठीक है. Now in the incident table, I'm doing something wrong definitely. Do we have caller? नहीं. रुको. तभी मैंने कहा ना ये I hate this topic. I literally hate this topic because ये हमेशा मुझे confuse कर देता है. मैं हो जाता हूँ. ठीक. Attribute. और let's say रुको एक काम करते हैं यहाँ आता है इंसिडेंट टेबल पर. इंसिडेंट ये नहीं है यार. रुको मैं इसको यहाँ से ओपन करता हूँ. डिक्शनरी ओवरराइड. If you see this topic is just for the few minutes, but I always get confused, so I always refer this thing. So we know the concept that what is dictionary override. That's fine, but how to do this dictionary override? That is a problem now. We can make a change in the reference field. Okay, let's say I'm here now. Incident. We will see this practical part as well, that I want to change the reference of this particular field. Now caller is defining to the user table, but I want to move it to some other table. So this is what we can do. We can dictionary attributes. याद है attributes जो हमने discuss किए थे? Let me show you. Configure dictionary. Let me do it. ये attributes. I can override these attributes as well. Default values. ये जो है default value. I can make a change as well. But ये child table में होगा, parent table में नहीं होगा. So see, देखो ये इंसिडेंट टेबल पर ही है, इसलिए मैं इसको चेंज नहीं कर सकता. If I want to be change something, then I have to be see a field which is on coming from the parent table. ठीक है, field dependency default column. Let me show you here. Let me go back. We will find a field which is coming from the task table. Oh. बंद करना पड़ेगा मुझे सारा ये. कहाँ गया शो सब कैटेगरी. ये भी इंसिडेंट टेबल से. व्हाट इज कमिंग फ्रॉम द टास्क टेबल. हाँ देखो, जैसे ये है ना टास्क टेबल से, इसको करते हैं. लेट्स ट्राई. कॉन्फ़िगर डिक्शनरी. होप इट शुड वर्क फॉर मी. ओ अगेन. ठीक है, एंड स्क्रॉल डाउन. अरे नहीं यार, यहाँ पे अभी भी नहीं आ रही है वो. देर मस्ट बी एडवांस. लेट मी गो इन द डिफॉल्ट व्यू. अच्छा व्यू तो चेंज नहीं है इसका. शो टेबल. रुको, इसको इसने जाने का ऑप्शन भी बताया हुआ है. हाउ टू गो डिफाइन अ डिक्शनरी ओवरराइड. लेट मी सी दिस. System definition, dictionary, open the record for the field. So we need to be get this related list. Let's say assign to. नहीं, I am doing something wrong. Wait. All system definition dictionary. All system definition and dictionary. MNOP QRST dictionary को वैसे ये रहा. ठीक. And then open the record for the field. यही तो नहीं मिल रहा मुझे. Open the record for the field. अच्छा ये है ना कॉलम है. रुको, let me remove this attributes first. We have something called dictionary entry. नहीं, रुको. ठीक है, let's say color. हाँ ये है color. और let's say incident table है क्या. हाँ ये देखो ये रहा. ठीक है, now open this. पता नहीं ऐसा क्यों, but I always fail in this topic, truly speaking. नहीं अभी भी नहीं आ रहा ये तो यार. Come on. Anybody idea what I'm doing wrong here? Let me take column name on the top and then see.
सर हम कर रहे हैं क्या बोला एक्चुअली.
हम क्या कर रहे हैं? I have this field on the incident table. ठीक है? I want to change the behavior of that field.
Okay.
Behavior means in the parent table it has a default value X, but in my table I want to put as a Y. ठीक है,
Okay.
वो बोलोगे सर बेस टेबल में जाके चेंज कर दो, राइट, पेरेंट टेबल में चेंज कर दो आप. बट इफ आई
Right.
चेंज इन द पेरेंट टेबल, then it will impact all the other tables where this has been used as a parent, right?
Yes, correct.
So I
तो
can't do this part. So this concept is called the dictionary override. For a particular table, sorry, for a particular table, I want to change the behavior of a particular field. Then we use the dictionary override. और उसके लिए we must have a related list here called the dictionary override. ठीक है, रुको हम इस पे जाता है ऊपर. लेट्स सी अबाउट द प्रायोरिटी. भगवान मेरा मजे लेते हैं पूरे. और
ये आप अभी कौन से टेबल पे हो आप, मतलब which टेबल?
I'm looking for a field where I can show the dictionary override.
और वो सिर्फ रेफरेंस टेबल को ही हो सकता है करके?
नहीं ऐसा नहीं है.
ओके.
Configure dictionary. हाँ देखो ये रहा. गुड, गॉट इट. ठीक है, ये है डिक्शनरी ओवरराइड. व्हाट आई एम डूइंग, I want to change the behavior of a priority field for my table, for incident table. Let's say I created a custom table which I reference from the extended from the task table. ठीक है, now I want to change the behavior of this one priority field. So what I can do, I can under the dictionary override I can go here and I can make these changes. Sorry, it says that previous values are these. On which table you want to change the behavior? I want to change the behavior on, let's say, Amisha's table. Do we have Amisha table here? Let me quickly check. ये है ना. Let's say do we have priority? हाँ, priority है, right? ठीक है. I want to make a change the behavior of this one. By default is coming as a 4. I want it should be coming as a 2 or 1. How I can make a change? For that we have to go for the dictionary override. So it says which table you want to be changed, on which table you want to be changed. I want to be changed Amisha's table. What you want to be changed here? We can do only these 6 or 7 operations. Number one, we can't make all the operations, or we can't make other operations other than this. Second part is that, as I say, it is good that we have this functionality, but it is not much recommended that we have to be use this functionality again and again and again and again. अगर आप पूरा ही बिहेवियर चेंज कर रहे हो तो बेटर है कि नया ही फील्ड बना लो. Like let's say my father hand over me the business, ठीक है, and I change everything. New management, new office, new way of working, new accounts, new system, everything, new employees. Then father says, why I should not give the business to you? If you want to do by your own, better to have your own business. Same thing applicable here. Small चीजें we can change it. Number one, we can override the reference qualifier. क्योंकि यहाँ पे तो reference है ही नहीं, ये तो drop down values है. ठीक है, but if you want, you can change the reference qualifier to the new table. Override dependent, like in this case. कहाँ गया, एक मिनट रुको, मैं ये ओपन करता हूँ. ठीक है, अगर आप देखो यहाँ पर सब कैटेगरी इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन द कैटेगरी, बट in my table I want to change the behavior of this one. So we can do override dependent. Override attributes, जो हमने वाली बात की थी कि यहाँ पर मैं सर्च से एक या दो से कर सकता हूँ. I want to be search with the different values here. In the task table, I can search with the email ID only. But in my table, I want to be searched from the employee ID as well. So I can change the behavior in the this part. Override the calculations. Override the mandatory. कि नहीं, task field में it was not mandatory, but in my field, I can make it mandatory. We can do this via client script as well. Sorry. कि सर अपने टेबल पे कर लेते हैं. But again, for that we have to write a script, which is I again not recommended. So better to use a dictionary override. एक टिकी तो करना काम हो जाएगा. You want to make it mandatory? देखिए हमेशा के टेबल में mandatory है नहीं है. Yes, I want to make it mandatory. Read only. It was read only. You want to override? I said no. And now we save it. So now the values get changed. Let me go and refresh and see if anything get changed or not. See, it is becoming mandatory now because it is coming it is coming with the default value, so it is not showing the red color. Maybe I want to change the default value as well. Do we have this option? Default value. Yes, override default value. Then I can change the default value as well. हम क्या कर सकते हैं? It may work. 2-high. Let's say 2 here. Save and try to reload this now. Hope it should work. See, हो गया. क्यों? Because in the task table it was 4, but I want is a 2 by default. So now I can change the behavior by this way. This is what is called the dictionary override. Good options, no coding required, but limited things we can do. Go ahead, question.
ये न्यू रिकॉर्ड के लिए अप्लाई नहीं होगा?
न्यू रिकॉर्ड के लिए अप्लाई होगा ये?
No, I mean, if we are going to create a new record in custom table, तो priority by default 2 ही आएगी या हम लोग को 2 ही select करनी पड़ेगी?
2 ही आएगी because we are changing the default, we are changing the behavior of here.
Can we check it, please?
देखो मैं आपको एक सिंपल सा बताता हूँ. यहाँ पर हम चले एक बार. ठीक है. Let's say in the task table we have a priority field. ठीक है. Default value is 4. With the name called x_r and extended from the task. Now the standard says if I'm extending from the task, it means in x_r priority is 4 coming from the parent table. But if you just say no, my use case is not this. My use case says that in my table priority should be 2 always as a default. Then you have to do the dictionary override and you have to change the default value to priority 2 जो हमने यहाँ पर किया.
तो वो सेव ही नहीं होगा अगर प्रायोरिटी हम लोगों ने 4 ली तो?
नहीं सेव होगा ना, क्यों नहीं होगा? बट डिफॉल्ट इट विल, बट व्हेन यू लोड द फॉर्म इट विल शो द 2 ओनली. सेव होगा, क्यों नहीं होगा? कंफर्मली सेव होगा.
क्या हम एक बार कर सकते हैं वो न्यू
हाँ,
रिकॉर्ड क्रिएट करके?
ठीक है. नाउ वी चेंज दिस फील्ड राइट.
यस.
नाउ यू कैन सेव इट. लाओ आप इसको 4 कर दो.
नहीं अगर न्यू रिकॉर्ड किया तो ये तो एक बार सेव किया है.
ये नया ही रिकॉर्ड है. रुको ठीक है.
Okay.
This is what you want, right, Trishna? Now you want to change the priority, right? ठीक है, लो 4 कर दिया. सेव हो गया. सेव. मैंने UI एक्शंस में चेंजेस नहीं किए, मैंने इस फील्ड का बिहेवियर में चेंज किया है. आई एम नॉट चेंजिंग द कंप्लीट फैमिली. मैं ऋतुजा का एक क्वालिटी लेकर उसको चेंज कर रहा हूं. लाइक Me and my sister, we both are twins. लेकिन हमारे गुण totally different है. I like a loud music, beats. She like soft music. I want to go in the parties, want to meet people. She's not like that. तो ये हमारे these are our qualities which are different and change. ठीक है, मेरे को पसंद है तो मैंने वैसे किया. I love theater, plays, acting. She don't love theaters, nothing. So I change it. In my family, nobody like it. Nobody like theater and all the things. But I like it. तो वो quality जो है, attribute जो change हो गया. So we can change the behavior of this particular field with the help of the dictionary override.
Okay, but we can't change whole list.
Whole अगर whole ही change करना तो फिर नया बना लो.
Correct. Yeah.
In our mobile phone, we can change the wallpaper, we can change the ringtone, we can make a little bit more changes. But you can't make a complete dialer form anew. अगर वैसे तो भाई फिर नया ऐप ले लो यार, कोई नया फोन ले लो जिसमें नया फॉर्मेट हो. राइट?
Yes sir. Correct.
तो वैसा. ठीक है, क्लियर हो गया?
Yes sir.
Can we change data type also?
नहीं. Very nice question, Amisha. Right? अच्छा, very good. Data type is the heart of your attribute. ठीक है, ये क्वेश्चन this question arises a lot of time. By mistake I in a table I created a date field, a string field, but I want to do for the number field. क्या करूं मैं? Simple example, you purchase a 2-bedroom house, but you thought it is a 3-bedroom house. चेंज करना है, क्या करना पड़ेगा अमीशा? नाउ
Change.
कैसे? Do you think it is very easy?
No, it's very tough.
But चेंज तो करना है. तो
Shift or either. दीदी एक दिन आरव को देखना.
बताओ. You say it is tough, right? In the same manner, in service note is very tough. And this question arises 2-3 times in the committee as well. That I want to change the data type. Number one part.
Either we can delete the field or something.
अरे मीशा, आपके घर में करोड़ों का सामान पड़ा है. Can you throw it outside?
Okay.
You can't throw it. ठीक है, you manage Arab, no problem. That's fine. Maybe sometime kids need the mother as well. ठीक है. But how to do this part? That is the important thing. What my experience says, my learning says that you can change it. Number one part, if in your table you don't have any data as of now, मतलब आपने टेबल बनाया और खाली है, then you can do and make a change in the data type. भाई टेबल में जाओ और वहां से डेटा टाइप चेंज कर सकते हो. Number one part. But if I already have a data in that table, in that field, and you want to change the data type, system will not allow to do this part. So what people recommend, but community recommend, take the data dump, take the data backup of that particular table. One, delete all the records or delete only that particular field record from the table, and then change the data type and then bring the data in that field. मतलब कि घर खाली करो, रेंट के घर पे जाओ, नया घर ढूंढो, और फिर शिफ्ट करो. This is what the whole soul process of the changing the data type. Again, not much recommended. Not much recommended to do this particular part. If there's a lot of data, like million or billions, millions of data aa gaya, and you want to be change the data type, better create a new field and start using that field going forward. And hide the old field from the form level so that nobody should be able to use that. That is the recommended approach. But yes, it is a very valid use case in the industry, and dictionary override will not work here. You can't change the gender of a person by dictionary override. No. You have to change the complete identity of that person in that case. Form, iCards, license, passport, everything need to be changed. Clear?
So in that way, we will never need कि हम नई field create करें.
That depends on the use case, Amisha. अगर देखो,
Because once in one class you told that if you want to create a new field, nowadays it is paid.
paid है, but it's not like paid for everything. I guess I told you that there's a PDF available, custom table and field. ServiceNow say you can create up to 25 new fields in a table, but the table must be extended from some other table. So they have some criteria for the same. So free है. But if you go beyond that, then it's a chargeable. So there's a little criteria that if I'm extending a new table from XYZ table, I can create up to 25 fields. New. Okay. Let me show you this part. Read this document. Table and field is now PDF. Sorry. ये वाला. ये document पढ़ना. You will get a clarity. Here they say that what is the meaning of the custom table, what is the meaning of the custom field. और किस टेबल पर आप अगर or you are creating any new table from any other table where you can use these things. See, app engine में अगर है तो 50 fields you can do it. But somewhere it's mentioned 25 as well. ठीक है. So read this four-page document. It will clear your thoughts that yes, कितना मुझे allowed है, किस टेबल से मुझे allowed है. Clear हुआ Misha?
Yes.
But it's a very valid question. Data type is a big thing, very big thing. Even you can't change the data type from date time to the date only, or from time to the date only. Not possible. टाइम तो उठाना नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होगा. ऐसा नहीं होगा. You have to be do a lot of things. Backup लो, then value change करो, फिर backup लेके आओ, then verify everything is working fine or not. इसलिए that is when it is said that whenever you're designing or defining any application, building any application, the architecture must be strong. अगर आपका आर्किटेक्चर स्ट्रांग नहीं है, आपका अंडरस्टैंडिंग स्ट्रांग नहीं है, then it will create a problem. And in my initial days when I started this training, I told you, think of a use case which you can build it. Don't think big, think small. कि मेरे को एक डॉट बनाना है और डॉट से ही चलना चाहिए मेरा. So that you can put everything together. Okay, ये field, ये table, ये columns होने चाहिए. And this is the right data types should be there. ठीक है. Now the last topic or formatter. ठीक है. Now if I come back here, let's say dev, and I'll go for the change request table now. ठीक है. ये जो आपको दिख रहा है ना, ये these are the formatters. ठीक. बट इसको बिल्ड करने का तरीका अलग होता है. राइट क्लिक, कॉन्फ़िगर, फॉर्म, लेआउट. नहीं, ये तो प्रोसेस फ्लो है. फॉर्मेटर, एक मिनट रुको जरा. Do you have something called formatter, or I'm missing something, or I'm mixing something? Okay, yes, not this one. So basically, formatter is something which you want to be display on the. ये वही चीज होगी, right. वही है. Which is not available on the form, but you want to show it. ठीक है. Like if I go back here, see. ये फॉर्म का पार्ट नहीं है. न्यू, असेस, ऑथराइज. आप बोलोगे सर स्टेट है डेफिनेटली, बट स्टेट इज अ फील्ड. बट ये जो है ना, दिस लाइंस, ये फॉर्म पे नहीं है किसी पे. सो वी यूज टू बिल्ड दिस एज अ फॉर्मेटर हेयर. एक्टिविटी फॉर्मेटर, प्रोसेस फ्लो फॉर्मेटर, अलग अलग फॉर्मेटर्स रहते हैं मेरे पास यहाँ पर. A format is a form element used to display information that is not to a field in a record. Add formatter to a form by configuring the form. देखो इसको ना एक एग्जांपल करके देते हैं. Again, it is again very tough topic for me. From the next time, I'm going to be remove this topic. I got confused always. ठीक है. अरे ओ भाई ओ, ये भी प्रॉब्लम होता है. Unnecessary scripts take a time to be load. देखो यहाँ पर if I go back here and configure form layout, यहाँ पर मेरा फॉर्मेटर नहीं है. So if you want, you can use the formatter here. है क्या फॉर्मेटर यहाँ पे? नहीं. और प्रोसेस फ्लो भी नहीं है मेरा. ठीक है. I'll do one thing. I'll read a little bit about this topic. That what is the best example to show. Then I'll show you this particular part. ठीक है. थोड़ा सा complicated है, but I will read and then I'll explain you on the Monday. Unnecessary, I don't want to put time on this particular part now. ठीक. Question, doubt, clarification. अरे हाँ ना तो बोलो.
No.
Good. चलो, let me take a stop the recording and take attendance now.